Hi everyone, this video is going to look at how new brands can onboard to create a program on the Fervora platform. It's pretty easy. You're going to want to start out by going to fervora.com and then clicking this handy big green button up here that says For Brands. When you're brought there, you're going to see the option to get started as a brand on the platform right here. Now, I should point out, by clicking this button, you also agree to the terms and conditions and policies of using Fervora as a platform for marketing your business. So take a look at those if you haven't already. Now, you're going to want to click this Get Starting Here button. And I should also point out that all interaction done on the platform is done using a Facebook profile. So if you don't have a Facebook profile yet, you're going to want to make one, as Facebook connection is the way that you actually use Fervora, by pairing it up with a Facebook account. We do this primarily because this makes it very easy for even non-technical influencers to get on board with Fervora. All they have to do is press a Facebook button and they're pretty much there. So for you, though, as a brand, you're going to want to start clicking this button right here. And what that's going to do is it's going to take you to the 5-step onboarding process for a new brand. Now, the first step is to choose a hashtag for you personally as an influencer. It's important to note that you are coming on first and foremost as an influencer, and then you set up your brand. So hashtag tracking is the way that the Fervora platform works, and we want you to be able to experience Fervora both as a brand, but more importantly, also as an influencer. And you sign up for both profiles in this brand onboarding process. So again, this first step is to simply select a hashtag for your own influencer profile for your own use. Now, mine is locked in as I've already chosen it. It's of course hashtag Chad, but if you haven't chosen yours yet, you'll see a little box here that you can put it in and move on to the next step. Now, moving on to the next step is, of course, step 2, and this is where you add the goals to your program. Goals are essentially what influencers try to accomplish while promoting your brand and what they'll get rewarded for. So a goal of a sale or a referral goal for sending people to your site, or maybe a specific landing page on your website. Doesn't really matter. Goals are entirely up to you. You can choose as many as you would like to add. But to start, and specifically on this page, the second step in the onboarding process, there are 2 required goals. We require you to offer at least 1 referral goal and require you to offer at least 1 conversion goal in conjunction with your program. But first things first, what is your brand's website? This is what we want to sign up here. And I'm going to use a personal blog of mine. It's the easiest example here, and we can actually set up a program using my personal blog, Outdoor Gear Reviews, as a good example of how to do this. Now, we're going to take some artistic liberties and say that Outdoor Gear Reviews has a store portion to it, which it doesn't, but you'll hopefully get the idea on this onboarding. So what is your brand's website? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And this is your base website URL that your entire program is configured. Now, keep in mind that if you have an HTTPS versus an HTTP, you need to make sure that whatever protocol it is you're using is reflected correctly in this brand website box right here. So I'm going to start now by coming down to referral goal, and I'm going to call this referral goal, I'm just going to call it Send Me Traffic. Easy stuff, right? So you can select if you want to reward unique referrals from your influencers on either a site-wide level, or if you want to have them send their traffic to a specific page in which you'll reward them for. Now, this is important because depending on what you do, you can really kind of dictate how your influencers are sharing your brand and what they're actually putting out there. So if it's, if you don't really care about what's being shown, you just want people to experience your brand and see anything on the site, you can leave this as site-wide. If you want them to go to maybe a new products landing page that they've just launched, or maybe you have a sale landing page that you really want your influencers to be telling their audiences about, you can put that specific page in here. For this demo, I'm just going to keep this as site-wide. So any visits to Outdoor Gear Reviews will earn this influencer commission, or a payout rather, if indeed that referral is unique. So not to get too sidetracked here, but we do have quite a bit of fraud prevention controls in place on Fervora so that an influencer can't just click their link a million times and get the payout every time they click their link. Influencer referrals, in order to be paid, have to be unique referrals. In other words, it has to be the first time that somebody's visited your site in order for the influencer to earn the payout that you are specifying right here. So this can be anything. Maybe I would like to reward my influencers a payout of 10 cents every time they send me a unique referral to anywhere on my site. Pretty decent. And I'm actually going to put that in the description here below. I'm going to say earn 10 cents for any unique referrals to outdoor gear reviews. We'll just abbreviate that to keep it easy. So pretty simple. That's configuring the referral goals. Down here is the conversion goals, and this is a little bit more in depth than the referral goal, but pretty easy as well. So the goal name, I'm going to put send a sale. You can name it anything you want, but send a sale is pretty easy. Now, of course, like I said before, my blog does not have a checkout or a cart page on it. There's no store element, so I'm just going to pretend that the URL for this article right here, we're going to pretend for a minute that that is the checkout URL. Or actually, we're just going to go ahead and pretend for a minute that I do have a checkout URL. Say Outdoor Gear Reviews does actually have a store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this conversion URL, and I'm going to say, hey, the checkout URL for Outdoor Gear Reviews is this, outdoorgearreviews.com/checkout/thank you, and maybe there's an order number always at the end. Okay, so essentially what this is saying is that every time an influencer sends over a referral and the referral reaches this conversion URL, we know that they've made a sale because you can't reach that URL unless you've gone through the process of making a purchase. Okay. For the landing URL right here, this can just be your default URL. So I'm just going to put in outdoorgearreviews.com. Pretty easy. The conversion URL, though, has one little tricky element to it. If your conversion URL contains a portion of your URL string that has a dynamic portion. So in this case, anytime somebody places an order, this order number is always going to go up. So of course, the next number is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and the next one after that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, so on and so forth. If you put this one URL with an order number in as your conversion URL, it will only be valid one time. So what you want to do is replace any dynamic portions of your URL with an asterisk. And this could be anywhere. So say we had our order number, just as an example, in the middle of our string. Well, all I would have to do is just replace those numbers with an asterisk. Hopefully that makes sense. The asterisk essentially says that there's a portion of the URL that should exist here, but we're not going to care exactly what it is. For more details, there's a more in-depth explanation down here in writing. But hopefully you get the idea of this. Now, for every sale, I'm going to select a flat fee payout to pay my influencers every time they send it over. So in this case, maybe I want to give them $5 every time they send over a sale. Description, I'm just going to echo what I did above. I'm going to say earn $5 for each sale you send over. Not a bad gig there. So there is my referral goal and my conversion goal. These, you can add additional conversion and referral goals after you've launched your program here on Fervora, but for the onboarding, we just ask you to set up one of each. Okay, that's it for step 2. Let's go to step 3. I'm going to go ahead and install my tracking. Now, the tracking is required to obviously sense when referrals from your influencers are incoming and also track when they have made any sort of conversions. So in this case, I need to get this script, this simple one little line of JavaScript, up on my website. Now, if you're using Shopify, there is a more details here button about how to install on Shopify. There's one additional step than what we're about to cover. So do make sure you're aware of that and looking at how to install the tracking in 2 places on Shopify. Really though, what you need to know for any installation is that this script has to be on every single page on your website, including the cart and the checkout and the thank you pages if you're going to track purchases. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And I'm going to come over to the administrative section of my blog. And if you can see over here, I'm editing the header of my blog. And of course, the header is loaded on every single web page within my website, so this is a good place to put it. Now, I've already taken a little bit of liberty and added a specific section where I'm going to drop in the code, but all I need to do, if you don't know what this markup is, don't worry about it. Just know that all you need to do is simply copy and paste. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste that script right there. I'm going to hit update that file. And when that is done, we'll give that just a minute to load there. When that's done, that will put my Fervora tracking script on every single page on my site. And once I've done that, you can see it says file edited successfully. I'm going to come back to where I install my tracking. And I'm going to hit this little button that says Open and Verify Installation. Our system basically goes to your site and looks to see if the code is indeed on the website. So if I click this, there's a handy little pop-up box here. And it goes away once you have been verified. So if you are running the tracking script correctly and it has been found on your site, you're going to see a little check mark box here. If not, you're going to see a red X and it's just going to keep spinning for a while. If it keeps spinning, try to install it again and make sure that you're saving the file that you're pasting it on. If you continue to have issues, you're welcome to reach out to us at support@fervora.com and we can try to help you analyze a little bit of this. At this point, you have successfully installed the installation. It's time to move on to the next step. Now, the next step is to actually create your brand page. This is a little bit about, what the brand is, what type of program you're running, a little bit of description on what you're doing as a brand. And I'm going to first start by uploading a logo. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. We require a 600 by 600 pixel square. Luckily, I've got one. I'm going to update that, and oh, hey, there it is. Fantastic. So by brand name, I'm going to call it Outdoor Gear Reviews because that's what it is. And then my Fervora handle. So I want maybe the abbreviation. I'm going to put OGR. Okay. So this is the area in which you will actually send recruiting links to people you want to join your program. So if I actually have OGR as my handle, what I would have is fervora.com/OGR. And I could send that to anybody, whether it's a client or a fan or, maybe even an employee who I want to be an influencer. I can send that URL, fervora.com/OGR, to them, and it actually allows them to onboard with my brand with co-branding in place. So they'll only see Outdoor Gear Reviews as an option for signing up. It's very handy in bringing in your fans into your program and not really having any exposure to other programs that are running on Fervora. So again, you just choose the handle, and this is appended after the fervora.com URL. A billing email address, this is really important. You want to make sure that you're putting in an up-to-date email address, preferably an accounts payable address for us to send in invoices to. So I'm just going to put in ap@outdoorgearreviews.com. And then a little bit of a description about your program. I'm going to say OGR is the best gear review and gear review blog and gear store out there. Hopefully you can come up with something a little bit more substantial than that. And finally, the last one, the option to turn on or off new influencer applications for auto approving. So that means if somebody wants to join your program, do you automatically allow them in, or do you put them into a pending queue in which you either approve or disapprove their application? So I can turn that to on or off, doesn't matter. Maybe I'll leave auto approving off and I will opt to manually approve each new application. Finally, that leads us to step 5. And step 5 takes us to our recruit influencers page. So you've just published it. Congratulations, it's live. You've gotten to the last step. You are a brand on Fervora. Now you can send your co-branded URL out, and you'll notice from the last step to this step, I paused the video and changed it real quick. It said in the last video OGR, now it says Outdoor Gear Reviews, but regardless, it's the same. I can send this particular link to anyone I want to join my program, and actually, let's visit this real quick. If I pull this up, you'll see that there's a nice sign-up page on Fervora, and it says Outdoor Gear Reviews wants to pay you to help promote them. Start now and become their influencer, and then they sign up with Facebook. Easy. Or you can even send direct invitations to join your program by email. So maybe I have somebody at my company who I want. Say it's Bubba at outdoorgearreviews.com. And I can send the invitation. I can even take a look and see what that preview or what that invitation email looks like. And that's it. Once you're done, you go hit this finish and go to dashboard button. You'll be taken to a very easy to use but effective dashboard with all options to manage your program here on Fervora. And if you've reached this portion of the onboarding process, congratulations. You are now a brand who has gone live on the Fervora.com platform. Thanks so much, everyone. Hopefully this was helpful, and best of luck.